Hey everybody, Shane Presley here with Rock Paper Podcast. I have a couple of announcements I need to share with you. Some big shows coming up, including on September 8th over at Old Rock House. That's this Sunday. I'm hosting Deb Stock. This is a benefit for my mother, Debbie Manahan. This is she was diagnosed with glioblastoma brain cancer back in June, and we're going to try to throw a big party for her and have some fun. I have live music from the Scandaleros, Al Holiday and the East Side Rhythm Band, Jackson Stokes, Joe Bazzelli, Matt Wynn, and Big Mike Aguirre and the Blue City All-Stars. Again, $4 to $9, $10 tickets in advance, $15 at the door. You can also purchase those at metrotix.com. And be sure to dress up in your finest Hawaiian summer kind of luau beach theme, whatever that means to you. It'd be fun to make this as beachy as we can over there at Old Rock House. Again, Sunday, September 8th. So let me tell you about my friends at Naked Vine. They donated to Deb Stock, and they've been a great friend of mine. So stop by and visit them out in Chesterfield, Missouri, right up there off of 40 and Clarkson Road, and see some great live music this week. Thursday, September 5th, Hal Pascal of Cherokee Moon will be out there. And Friday, September 6th, the Scandaleros return. And Saturday, September 7th, Prairie Rehab. I will be back at Naked Vine on Tuesday, September 10th, and that's every second Tuesday of the month, with my singer-songwriter storytelling showcase. And this month I will bring along my friends Taylor Steele of Taylor Steele and the Love Preachers, Eric Barnes and Andrew Dahl of Andrew and the Dolls. Again, all this information and more can be found at nakedvine.net. Be sure to follow along with them on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And as always, they're serving up the finest wine, whiskey, tequila, and local craft beers out there. So come out and visit them at Naked Vine. And I want to let you know that this episode is recorded on my brand new Heil microphone. If you haven't checked it out yet, visit heilsound.com today and pick up a brand new microphone or gear or whatever you can want to get over there at Heil Sound. And follow them on Facebook and Instagram as well. And I want to let you know about Joseph Meyer Club. They're a fantastic company with this great foaming aftershave I've been using, and you can pick yourself up some today at josephmeyerclub.com. And if you entered my code RPPJMC20 during checkout, you can receive an exclusive 20% off. So head on over there again, josephmeyerclub.com, get for all your aftershave needs. And that's it for me today, folks. Again, thank you everybody for listening. Thanks for continuing to support this show. If you're interested, I have some new hats and buttons and shirts available. Feel free to email me at rockpaperpodcast@gmail.com if you'd like a shirt or anything, or if you just want to say hi or what episodes you're enjoying or any whatever it is. Feel free to reach out, email. Also on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Would love to hear from you. Again, please come on out to Deb Stock Sunday the 8th. We'll hope to see you there. Have a great day, everybody.
A podcast is kind of like it's like a radio show that's not on the radio. It's on the internet. Does that make sense? Uh-huh. Yeah. That's also like my mom. It makes it sound more confusing, doesn't it? It sounds like this.
Hey, this is Ethan Jones, and you're listening to Rock Paper Podcast. All right. Keep on rolling, baby.
Rock Paper Podcast. Rock Paper Podcast. Rock Paper Podcast, y'all.
Hey, everybody. Shane Presley here. Rock Paper Podcast coming to you from St. Louis, Missouri. Hanging out today with Ethan Jones.
Hey.
Welcome to the show.
Yeah.
Not back to the show.
Welcome back.
Yeah. Well, welcome back to anybody that's listened. That's why, or I don't know. I'm trying to save it.
Here we are. Here we are.
Anyway, man, I'm glad this worked out, buddy. I'm like, you're a guy that we've definitely become a lot more friendly recently. Yeah. I've been seeing you a lot at Broadway Oyster Bar. Mm-hmm. We were just talking about how we have like a lot of these great conversations at the bar, and that's the sort of what the idea with this show is, like where an opportunity I can actually sit and talk, and we kind of maybe have some more of those bar conversations, but in a quieter setting, and where we're actually not trying to talk over a band or anything else. So
it's cool.
Yeah, man. But thank you for doing this, and
been a long time coming for sure.
For sure, man. This and now like even before like. I've known who you were for quite a while, and I think I bumped into you one night at Halo Bar.
Probably.
Do you remember that at all?
That would have been probably like El Monstero.
Yeah, I think
it was before I moved to Nashville. I think
something like that. I don't remember, but I remember bumping into you, and I snapped a picture with you, and but anyway, just like so, I've been kind of following along for a while, but like I said, it's been cool that we've become buddies over the last. Year or whatever more or something like that. We've becoming closer friends, but so anyway, but I don't know a lot of the story. I don't know a lot of your the early days and everything else. So that's why I think this stuff's kind of fun to kind of talk about some of that stuff and share some songs and all this. And
sure.
So I get you always from St. Louis though.
I'm originally from Granite City, Illinois. Yeah. I'm one of the East Side boys. So when everybody says we're going to East Side, it's like, okay, I'll go back home. No, it doesn't scare me so much.
That's still close enough to St. Louis.
Yeah, I can still see the arch from my old house. So.
I live in Wentzville. I'm out west, and I still call St. Louis home. I mean, like it's 40 miles, but like nobody knows Wentzville, so it's a lot easier.
Right.
But I've always called St. Louis home.
Right on, man. But yeah, I'm originally from Granite City, Illinois, and we'll just call it like the East Side, the burbs.
Yeah.
Kind of. But it was cool growing up. I was in a musical family. My dad is also a musician. And we talked about our duo, Generation Jones, that I do with him on occasion over there, some places and other wineries and whatnot. But I didn't want to play guitar at first.
Right.
When I started out.
Was it just because of him? Or what?
Yes and no. It was like, okay, well, he already plays guitar, so I don't need to do that.
Right.
I want to do something else. And I was drawn into saxophone music. I really liked that. I was into jazz, and I was in, elementary school band and high school band, all that. And I got really sick, actually. I had like 3 different types of pneumonia back to back to back. And I was like out of school for a month and a half and wanted to still play music. So I couldn't play saxophone. I couldn't breathe hardly. So I'd go steal my dad's guitar from downstairs, and I'd leave it in my room, and he'd go to, grab it to practice, and it wasn't there. It was in my room. He's like, "What are you doing with that?" I don't know. I'm just like, "Show me like whatever you're trying to figure out." And I just noodle out some theme songs, like some Metallica songs or whatever. The first thing I ever learned was the melody from Young Frankenstein.
Okay.
The da 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 da. That thing. I learned that, and it's kind of downhill from there, I guess. Yeah. went down the rabbit hole.
Right.
But yeah, my mom is not a musician, and her brother, my uncle Richard Mendoza, actually taught me some bass. I played bass in jazz band and in middle school and some high school stuff, and learned how to cook. That's my other thing. Yeah, man. Other than music, and
now we're talking.
And I draw. Yeah, we got you some salsa and salsa. That's
thanks, Mom.
That is a staple. Yeah. So, and if you run out, you can get it wherever.
Yeah,
it's all over the place. But yeah, as far as being the kid in music, I played baseball and whatnot. That was fun. But after the game, I'd go straight home and go practice guitar or something.
Sure.
I was learning Rush songs when everybody else was out, skateboarding. When I kind of gave that up,
yeah,
I'm like, this might go somewhere for me. Hopefully, it's been cool so far.
Hell yeah, man.
Going anywhere? But.
Yeah, I'm with you on cooking. That's kind of how it was for me growing up. Like, Dad played a little music. We joked that we had a family band kind of thing. Like, Dad would play a little guitar and harmonica. Me and my brother would sing along. And I don't know. I have memories of like Sundays or whatever, sitting, and we had like, they called our solarium room there with all these windows and stuff, kind of hanging out there and jammed. And I can remember doing, well, I've been standing on the rock, just waiting for my seeds to grow.
Yeah, man.
And so that was obviously a lot of Ozark Mountain Daredevils, Allman Brothers, Easy Top. There was a lot of like staples in my collection as a kid with my dad. But me and Mom were always a lot closer. Dad, Dustin was more of my dad in cars and building stuff and things. And I was always in the kitchen with Mom cooking. So cooking is always like, at one point I considered going to culinary school. I was like, I just really enjoy cooking and stuff. So I'm with you on that. Like, you're talking about that being a hobby. And
music and food they go hand in hand.
Sure.
You know, like
I love Daryl's House. You ever watch that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, man.
Dude,
like,
love that show.
I mean, like the fact that he cooks a nice meal for everybody and then they jam and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Like, and it's freaking Daryl Hall.
Oh yeah. Right.
It's great.
Yep. So that's what I always loved about that. It was like the fact that they pair both of them together like that.
Yeah. Yeah, super cool.
Yeah. So you, I guess you just, and mainly just for friends and family kind of thing, you like cooking?
Yeah. I mean, it's, it just brings on a lot of conversation. I guess that's the kind of person that I am. Mm-hmm. I enjoy conversation when it's good. And if it's, you know, food and nobody talks, then you know that the food's good.
Oh, yeah.
You know? If nobody's talking, they're just worried about that. Hopefully it's good anyway. But,
right.
And, you know, music is so subjective. You can have a lot of really good conversations about music and just learn a lot from people in different times in their lives, how that may have helped them through something, or like it brings back a memory. Like anytime I hear the Wallflowers, I think of, or like 90s grunge or Stone Temple Pilots, anything like that. I always think about being a kid when the public pool in Granite City opened up.
Okay.
It sounds like a scary thing, but it was cool back then.
Right.
You know? But I just remember hearing that, like riding my bike around Wilson Park and hearing that music come up, or like, you know, having a radio strapped onto my bike, cruising around, you know, whatever. But
that's such a weird thing, how like music can take you right back to those days, like that particular time. And
yeah, man.
For me, like I hear turn your head now, baby, just spit me out. I think of St. Charles County Fair, like all those and stuff, like all these that kind of stuff, like all the fair carnival rides and all that stuff. Like it seems like that was like
absolutely.
Yeah.
Or what was the name of that UFO thing? You know, like it'd spin around super fast and stick on the wall.
Yeah.
Like there was always like Collective Soul or something like that playing in that ride. Oh, memory.
But yeah, but that's one of my favorite things. Man. I love like it's like time travel. You know, it's like just like somebody can put on a song you haven't heard in 20 years and takes you right back to that as a kid and stuff. And
you still know it.
Oh yeah.
And it's like I can't even remember what day it is sometimes. Like,
right.
You know, you're living off the black mirror of the phone. You know, 16 hours a day, and it's like, oh, like hear that song and you're 7 years old again, you know, quick. It's cool.
So getting back into the music as you start kind of learning more in guitar and things, like when do you start like actually getting into like writing and stuff for your own stuff? Like when were you starting to write young too, or did that come later?
As far back as I can remember, I would write stories all the time. Just, you know, make up stuff, you know, kid with a big imagination, and I would just make stuff. And like I had a typewriter that my grandma had, so I'd like do that, and you know, then my hand would get tired, turn it into grandma and like, hey, how's that? She kept everything, so it's kind of cool. But that was where I got started, and I had some really cool teachers that were encouraging for you know, writing music, and one in particular, Wyatt Roberts, who was my, like when you went to summer band and you had to like learn how to play hot cross buns or whatever else, some other kids and me, or some other kids and I, excuse me, were kind of taken under his wing, and we grew up on, you know, the same page of liking jazz, and I liked the improvisation of that. So it was cool. Like, how do you write something and then tell the story over and over and over? In my mind, that's how it was. Because, you know, you have like what's called the head of the song or the melody of the song. And then you just do it all over again and play whatever you want over the top. Instant jazz. You know, it's kind of, and you can make it however you want, alter that. And it's almost like the never ending story.
Yeah.
Ish, kind of. But yeah, I was always into writing, and I liked poetry a lot. Just more of the artsy kind of feeling dude, and it just made more sense to me to do that.
Right.
It was a lot more emotive for me. I never thought any of my songs were very good, and just kind of kept them to myself until my friends and I like started a band, and it was like, I want to do this song. I want to do that. Well, let's write our own songs. No, I don't want to do that. Yeah, dude, we got to write our own songs, man, so we can get a deal. Duh. And we were like, you know, a bunch of punk-ass kids listening to Chili Peppers and Funkadelic. And then, you know, the Strokes came out, and that's what kind of, like, brought us all together. Like, this is cool.
Yeah.
That guy sounds cool. The licks are cool. Songs are cool. Let's do that. And we just kind of put our own little twist on that, and that's how I got started writing songs. You know,
What was the name of that band?
The Day After Yesterday was the name of that band. So, dude, it was we thought we were the shit, right?
Yeah.
Like none of us could drive, and I was like playing on my dad's old gear, like hand-me-down stuff from him. Actually, like when I was clearing guitar pedals out, some of those were what I had when I was 13 years old. We'd get in the drummer Zach's, his dad's van, and load all of our gear in there, and we'd go play at the old Creepy Crawl, like the very first one. And we thought it was so cool. And, you know, we're selling tickets to our event, man. And it was like to our parents.
Sure.
We're playing in this bar, man. We're moving on up. Yeah, no, you're not. made enough money to buy T-shirts and stuff.
Sure.
And
I remember those days though, man. We had out in Wentzville there. I don't know if you ever got to play, if the Day After Tomorrow ever played out there, but the original pit, Midwest Music Pit out there.
didn't ever do that one.
Yeah, it was. I mean, we weren't missing much, but it was. But I remember all my buddies from high school, like that was a big deal when they started playing there. I mean, we're like, you know, whatever, 14 years old, going to watch their bands play and stuff. And I was like, remember thinking like, this is awesome. Like my friends are making music, and we're, you know, like. So it was definitely exciting, and then we'd pack the house with like 100 people from school or whatever kind of thing, and it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, dude. I just that whole point in my life was just cool, like innocent and unassuming. You know?
Oh yeah.
Like you're just happy to be there. I mean, I still am at any gig. I mean, some gigs are just like, really, I got to go do this. But then you get into it, it's like, cool. You learn how to get through that and work with people to make it more fun. But
yeah, man.
we were, you know, Granite City, if we ever got out to Wentzville, that was like a magical faraway place.
Sure. Oh yeah.
Might as well have been California.
Yep.
Especially if you can't drive, you know.
Yeah.
And they didn't want to drive us all the way anywhere, so I don't know. We had shows we had basement shows. Did you guys ever do that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure we all like. It was like it was definitely much, you know, a little more. Like, I don't know if it was even just band practice and we hung out or whatever. Maybe kind of essentially.
Well, I mean, that's really what it was.
Right? Yeah. Like, so.
And we just like charge people like $1 to get in, $2, whatever. We used to rent out this the township hall in Granite City.
Okay.
We'd put like 5 or 6 bands on a bill, and when you showed up, looking back now, like I should have been more on top of this, but we were like the freshman and sophomore band that got to play with the seniors, so that was a big deal. It was like we get to sit at the cool kids table, you know, and you'd get $1 per person or $1 extra per person if they mentioned your band name. I'm like, man, what do I gotta do? T-shirts. I'll just sell T-shirts at school. That way everybody knows it. So I like had my side hustle, like selling T-shirts out of my backpack.
All right.
I should have gotten in a lot of trouble. So sorry, everybody. Sorry, Mom. My mom helped me do it. So not sorry, Mom. Thanks. I don't know. Thanks for the The hustle lesson.
Yeah. That's what it's all about, the hustle, man.
It is all about the hustle.
Yep.
You are correct.
Well, so things start picking up after the day after tomorrow, or
Yeah, after it was day after yesterday.
Or yesterday, yeah,
so
sorry.
And I named it that because like the first letters of it was TDAY, so it was like the day after yesterday is today,
Sorry.
and that's cool, and we'll just run with it.
Yeah.
They hated it, and they hated me.
The day after tomorrow was a movie, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's like where the
That's where I can't-
giant earthquake or like the
Yeah.
apocalypse happens or something.
So it wasn't that. It was
Ice Age.
the day after yesterday.
Yeah, it's no big deal. That was like 17 years ago, man. Not tripping. God, that's a long time.
Yeah, man.
It's crazy. But where were we going with that?
I don't know. So I was just trying to. What was the next step in music then after that? I guess.
So after that, in typical white dude with a guitar fashion, I'd start taking a guitar to like bonfires and like
Yeah.
other little things like high school. Like I was in National Honor Society and we had a bonfire, so I was the guy that showed up with a guitar there. Or I'd take it to school, or just that guy. I was the guy you wanted to beat up.
That guy.
Like, I would go beat me up now. But I mean, that's just what we did. It was how we all got along.
Mm-hmm.
But I went to college and studied music business, and started taking guitar lessons. I'd never really taken guitar lessons until about my senior year of high school, junior or senior year of high school. And I studied with Billy Barnett,
Nice.
who plays around St. Louis quite a bit.
Yeah.
And I worked with him at J Gravity Strings,
There you
actually,
go.
down here in Soulard. But, did lessons and kind of did that and started really writing songs and getting into that a lot more. And
Did
I don't
Dad
know.
Did Dad give you your first guitar officially, or were you still just borrowing from him, or?
I saw, my first guitar, what was the first guitar? I remember the first guitar I had, and I would die to have it back.
Yeah.
I had an Epiphone Explorer. So it was black with like a sparkle flake in it and huge on me. I mean, it was like trying to play that refrigerator. And I got it. I'm like, this is really cool, but it's so awkward to play. I don't know what to do. So I traded it in for a blue Ibanez. Biggest mistake ever. But I like Joe Satriani, so he had an Ibanez, I had an Ibanez. Therefore, I am Joe Satriani.
I mean, that's how it works.
And that's all I cared to play ever. It was just cool, But my parents were always supportive and influential in helping me get guitars. And thankfully, since my dad is also a guitar player and singer, I never had bad gear.
Mm-hmm.
I always had really cool stuff to play. And I'll show you some stuff later. I've actually got one that he had built for me for my 16th birthday. Still got that.
Nice.
It's pretty cool.
Very cool, man. Well, let's drop in one of your tunes talking about writing, getting into writing more and things.
All right.
This is a song you played live acoustic here in the kitchen, and a tune called "Sad Country Song."
Yeah.
And what's anything you need to add around this particular one?
Not unless you want to know more about it.
I mean, I'll take whatever, man.
Okay. I wrote that song in the car.
Okay.
I wrote it in the car. It was like one of those came in through the window kind of things. It was when I was living in Nashville and driving back and forth all the time to come up here and play with my country band that I had, or that I was in. I didn't have it. And I had a publishing deal. Well, we can get into that later on. But I was talking to the person who hired me. Should I tell you who it is? I feel like kind of an ass if I just say, screw it. If you think I'm an asshole, sorry. So I was signed on to Redneck Records with Gretchen Wilson.
Okay.
So I was talking to her. We had some stuff going on either side of our personal life, as you talk about with your friends. And I wrote that down and had this melody in my head, and then got home and played it. I taught myself how to play it without even playing the guitar. So that one's kind of special to me. I didn't It just was there. You know, some songs you work toward, other songs just happen, and that was one that just happened. So.
Yeah, man.
I've been missing almost all the time, trying to find a light that shines. Now I'm running back to you. Say the distance makes it hard to breathe. I'm trying to make ends meet. I'm losing sleep when I dream about you. Well, I'm almost home. It's never easy on this road. Don't say goodbye, 'cause you know that I'll be there before too long. But darling, please don't be my sad country song. There was something that you tried to hide behind those eyes. Still I'm running back to you. I brought up mention of another name and said it's not the same. We're both to blame and maybe I'll forgive you. Well, I'm almost home. It's never easy on this road, so don't say goodbye, 'cause you know that I'll be there before too long. But darling, please don't be my sad country song. Well, I'm almost home. It's never easy on this road, so don't say goodbye, 'cause you know that I'll be there before too long. And darling, please don't be a sad country song.
I've heard a lot of that. Like, I mean, I've talked about it a bunch on here, but it just fascinates me. It's an interesting story. But like Neil Young, and there's a bunch of stories like this that are from. But I listen to Howard Stern show a lot, and he gets all my favorite writers on there, and he gets them to sit and talk about these songs and stories and stuff. And then, but Neil particularly shared an interesting story about like being this like crazy fever or something, like laid up in the hospital bed for a couple of days, and then just asked for like a notepad and just started writing. And then like when the fever broke, he like looked at the notepad and like analyzed what he wrote, and like apparently out of that like came like Cinnamon Girl and all this stuff with like all these songs that became, you know, huge hits. But it's like it just came to him in an inspiration, and he was like just trying to keep up with it. And like, so it's kind of crazy to think like you never know when a particular song is going to hit you, and sometimes you just got to keep up and write it down as fast as you can.
That's cool.
Yeah, man. But yeah, the sad country song is this was a fun one, man. I really dig it.
Thanks.
This it's just fun, man. It's like I think we can all kind of relate to it at times, like, you know, listening to other been there with the others.
I hope so.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, like there are a couple rules that whether they're rules or not, they're rules for me when it comes to songwriting. The songs that are your best ones are the ones that you don't have to work towards writing, and the one that you hate the most is the one that everybody else likes. And you get stuck playing for the rest of your freaking life.
Right.
That's just, you better be ready if that's the one that hits and you're like, really? Okay.
That's not how you feel about this one, is it?
Oh, no. No, I
okay.
like this one. So
all right, good.
Hopefully everybody doesn't hate it.
Yeah.
That'd be bad.
Yeah. But I definitely, I think we've gotten into that conversation a couple times at the bar about a lot of these bands that kind of resent being known for their one song and stuff. Like,
Yeah.
but that's definitely the case. Like it's, I don't know how it works out like that, but it's the way it works sometimes.
Yeah. You can't really hate it that much if you're getting mailbox money in large sums.
Sure.
You're like, all right, I'll play this song. No problem.
I'm sure the same goes for actors though too. Like the movie that they're not as necessarily proud of, but they still get recognized for it all the time and all that stuff.
Gary Sinise, man, Lieutenant Dan.
Yeah.
Nobody cares about what your name is, Gary Sinise.
Right,
you are
yeah.
Lieutenant Dan forever.
Yeah.
Forever.
Forever. There's definitely a lot of those guys. I remember I met Pauly Shore one time. He was doing, he did a set at Plush. Mm-hmm. And
when was this?
I don't know, many years ago when Plush was still around. Maybe
We got a Pauly Shore story too.
6 or 7 years. I don't know, something like that. Whatever it's been.
Yeah, that's okay. This lines up great.
Probably somewhere around there.
Yeah.
And anyway, so I saw him, and he did his set, and then there was a guy named Steve Simone also there with him, and he was a lot of fun. Anyway, but so anybody that hasn't been to Plush was kind of split into like the performance side and the bar side, and then so after the show, Pauly did like a little meet and greet, and I got him to sign my copy of Biodome, and I don't know, he didn't seem like real excited about it. Like I don't know that for me, like. It's a great movie. Like I still love it. Like it's not a great movie, but I enjoy
Making a filter.
Yeah.
Making a filter.
But it's just funny, like to think, like, the guy, even like a guy like that's like kind of resents some of the movies that he has been in or something like that. But it was very weird. Like I sat, they had us like sit on this couch, and he like sat behind us, and it was like almost like he was like photo bombing my picture. Like it wasn't like a picture with Pauly. It was just me on a couch with Pauly behind me. It was a really strange thing, but I'm glad I did it though. It was fun.
Yeah.
I'm glad I met him and got to say hey.
He is an interesting cat. I met him. It must have been right around the same time that you're talking about. It was this college conference that I did. It was like a talent scout conference from all over the country. They all came here. And I was walking around downtown St. Louis with my dad. And we're just walking, and here comes this, kind of flamboyant short dude with 2 other guys behind him. And he's like, "Hey, dude, where's a good place to get a pie, bro?" And I was like, "Oh, you can go over there, blah, 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 blah." And I started walking with my dad and just stopped. I'm like, "Dude, that was freaking Pauly Shore, man." He's like, "No way. No way." I walked up to him like, "Excuse me, you're Pauly Shore, right?" He's like, "Sure am, buddy." I'm like, "Oh, awesome. Dude, great to meet you. What are you doing here?" He's like, "I'm in town for that conference, man." Terrible Pauly Shore impression. But I was freaking out. Like, called everybody. Like, he was one of the first celebrities I really met.
Right.
Like, "Dude, I just freaking met Pauly Shore. This is awesome." And told everybody in my band. They're like, no, you didn't. No, he's not here. I'm like, "Yeah, he is." And about that time, he just walked like right around past. And just like kind of waved, did his thing. I'm like, see, I met him. So we went to this after party, and I'm hanging out with some people, and they're like, "Dude, Pauly Shore is here." I was like, I just literally I met him, and we had a little bit of a conversation.
We're best friends right now.
We're totally. Well, here's the redemption song. So they're like, "No, you didn't." Go up to him and say hi. I was like, "Hey, man, do you remember me?" He goes, "Sure do, dude. You're the guy from the street." So that's sure do, dude. You're the guy from the street. What's up, buddy? I was like, "See, we're friends."
Yep.
I got a picture to prove it.
There you go. Yeah, man.
It's real. It's authenticated.
Yep.
It's on the internet. It's real.
That's what's fun. Well, now we have more in common than we thought.
Yeah.
We both met Pauly.
Yeah.
Well, we have a bunch of shows coming up that you can catch Ethan live, and let's talk about some of these, including a big one on September 3rd
Yeah.
You're at Hammerstone's, and this show is interesting to me. But you will be doing an evening of John Mayer song, or a set at least, I guess, or are you going to do the whole night?
The whole night is John Mayer.
All night long, John Mayer.
All night long.
Like Lionel Richie.
All night.
But
all night long.
It's kind of funny that you're doing this the same night that John is also in town doing all John Mayer songs.
Right. I didn't know if that was going to be a good idea or not, but I've been wanting to do something like that because I'm a big John Mayer fan. I learned all like the really obscure songs like that aren't hits off the records that a lot of fans like or ask me to do. I've kind of been like the John Mayer or James Taylor comparison guy most of my life. I mean, solo acoustic troubadour guy.
Right.
There I am, white dude with a guitar. But I thought, like I don't have anything to lose. I don't want to hire a band for this because I don't have the capital to pay for that, and I don't want to try to manage everybody learning their stuff for it to be a total flop. Everybody just bails out and goes to the concert. I'm covering this show for a friend of mine anyway, and just thought, I'm going to do this for me. And if it sucks, it sucks, and nobody likes it. Big deal. I'm still going to do the show. Like, I can still, like, if it's like abort mission, like
Right.
play some other stuff. Like, okay, whatever, no hard feelings.
Right.
We'll just see how it goes. It's going to be a lot of fun, though. I've had people that are telling me that they've already, like, reserved tables.
There you go.
Which is cool. So if you plan on going, get there early.
Yeah.
I guess is what I'm saying. And if you don't want to pay the freight to go see John Mayer play his own music, you can come see me do it for free.
Yeah, man. That's a deal. Let's drop in. You did do a shared one on here on the show, and this is Queen of California.
Yeah.
And this is a fun one. I really dig this song. This Born and Raised, was
Yeah,
that
it is
right?
Born and Raised.
Yeah, that's a great record.
Goodbye cold, goodbye rain, goodbye sorrow, goodbye shame. Headed out west with my headphones on, boarded a flight with a song in the back of my soul. I just found out a ghost left town, the Queen of California is stepping down. Hello beauty, hello strange, hello wonder, what's your name? Looking for the sun, the Neil Young, after the gold rush in 1971. I just found out a ghost left town, the Queen of California is stepping down. If you see her, say hello. Just don't tell me I told you so. Johnny Road blue in our house by the sea. Gotta believe there's another brother waiting on me. Set me free. I just found out a ghost left town. The Queen of California is stepping down. I just found out a ghost left town. Queen of California is stepping down.
like that's what I love about his career is like he's done like it all. Like he's he has like every record's like completely different.
Yeah.
And like so that was definitely like into more in a southern rock kind of vibe a little bit, kind of tap into that Allman Brothers vibe at times. And
yeah, I mean, he started out as like the Abercrombie representative guy that worked at the mall that played a couple of his jams and people liked it. And this is like right before he went into like the wandering cowboy in the wilderness guy.
yeah, right,
Wrestling bears and stuff.
right.
Like the Paradise Valley. And like, what are you doing, man? Like, this ain't you.
Yeah.
The Search for Everything is a great record too. I'll be doing a lot of stuff off that.
Sure. Okay. But yeah, he's like, definitely and then you got John, the trio and stuff. Getting into some real, bluesy stuff, and it's like, so it's just like the guy's done it all in his career. Now, of course, touring with the Dead and stuff. Like it's pretty wild what he's been able to, and then like continue to keep a fan base too. Like it's like, it's like people have been sticking with him all these years, even if they've liked Your Body's in Wonderland in the beginning and stuff.
Sure.
They still like the new stuff and things.
Yeah, and I think it's important to realize too, like, I catch a lot of flack for being such a John Mayer fan. It's like, the dude's a great writer.
Yeah.
And he freaking plays guitar really, really well.
Yeah.
You can't hate on the guy. If you want to, fine.
Right.
But you're dumb. And go listen to, somebody that just totally sucks, and you're like, oh, this is the best thing. No, it's not. Just shut up.
Yeah.
But I think he's great.
I do too.
That's why I learned all this music.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't necessarily like every one of them, but like I definitely am a fan. Like I like quite a bit of it, and so I mean that's about with anybody though. Like there's stuff in everybody's catalog I don't necessarily a fan of, but I do like them as performers and everything.
Yeah, totally.
So, but yeah, come on out to Hammerstone's on the 3rd.
Do it, or you're a terrorist.
That's the slogan right there. And we.
If you don't, kittens will die. Every second guess you have a puppy. Oh no, let's not go into puppy land. Kittens are. Tell you what, just be there.
Yeah,
no animals will be harmed.
You'll be back at Hammerstone's on September 5th.
Yep.
And then let's talk about this gig on September 12th at Doits. You mentioned early about Generation Jones, and this is a duo you said with your dad?
Yeah.
Just you two? And then
yeah, and Doits Village Inn is over in Pontoon Beach, Illinois. It's not as far away as everybody thinks, okay? It's like maybe 10 minutes, 12 minutes from downtown.
Right.
So no excuse if you don't want to check that out. But yeah, my dad and I started doing this duo just because I had somebody flake out on a gig and like wasn't really allowed to play with me anymore. I won't get into that, but it was dumb. So my dad's like, "Oh, I'll do it." So, I grew up, filing through my mom and dad's music catalog and learned a bunch of the stuff from the 60s, 70s, 80s, and everywhere in between. So we've combined our set lists pretty much, and it's neat. It's really neat playing with him because almost through like osmosis, like we just know what the other one's gonna do. So it's like he never really steps on my toes. We always know what harmony part to go to with each other. That's how we, grew up singing like Happy Birthday. Like my family, they all sing really well.
right.
Except for two of them. But, and you know who you are, Ryan and Travis.
No names.
Calling you out. No, it's okay. They got all the brains and they're super smart. But we just like have this like ingrained and assigned harmony part to go to. So it's really fun playing with him.
Nice.
I dig it. That, and he's just one of the best guitar players in town.
Yeah.
Period. I'm not just saying that because he's my dad, but ask around. He was talked about.
Yeah, for sure, man. Well, that sounds like a good time. And you guys do that often, or is it?
We do that about once a month.
Okay.
And it's usually at Village Inn over in Pontoon.
Okay.
And it's a cool, little dive bar. Everybody knows everybody. Everybody gets along. And they just, they have a good time. They're my people.
Yeah.
I grew up like a mile away from that place. So
Right.
it's just, seeing some old friends, making some new friends, that kind of thing.
Yeah, man. September 15th, you'll be at Chandler Hills Winery, right?
Yep.
With Ashley Haynes.
Yeah.
Which another friend of ours.
Yeah.
I've kind of been following. She's another one like similar to our story. I've been following along with her career for quite a while and stuff, keeping an eye on things. But so maybe one of these days I'll get her on the show, come play some stuff for us.
Yeah, man. Or I'll try to maybe send you some videos or something.
There you
we
go.
can figure that out. It's an interesting story how I got to meet her and why she's even doing music in the first place. Like she would come out to this open mic that I had, or that I was doing with some friends out in Fenton, and she came out to sing a couple songs because she wanted to get into it. And I guess she had a band before. I was like, this chick's really good. Cool, awesome. So she just kept coming back. Then we put her in the band, and it was great. And she's like, I really want to go play music full time, and I don't know what I want to do. And I was like, quit your job and tell people that you want to play music.
Yeah.
They will hire you. She's like, I don't know if I should do it. Like, quit your job and go play music. You'll get hired. And bam.
Yeah.
Sure enough. So
I
she seriously like didn't know how to play guitar at all. Like taught herself how to do it. Like has been taking lessons, and it's crazy, man. Like she's gotten better at guitar in probably like the 3 years that she's been playing than some dudes get like ever.
Yeah.
So good for her.
Yeah.
Mad props.
For sure.
Give it up when it's due.
Yeah, that's awesome to hear because like there's a lot of people that are afraid to take a chance on themselves like that, like, and sometimes you just need somebody like that kicking you in the ass to reassure you like, hey, just do it. Like,
and I think that's honestly how a lot of musicians in this town are. Like, especially if it's in our friend group, and we're all pretty supportive of each other. I mean, sure, it gets cliquey, but I'm fortunate that the people in my camp, and probably the people that like, I want to do this. They just kick you right in the ass and like, go do it. Quit being a baby.
right.
Go do it.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, I'm glad I did it. Like you feel stupid almost because you're like, I can't believe I was like hesitant to make that move when it's something I should have been doing, the whole time. So,
Yep.
it's cool.
Well, yeah. Again, so you can see Ethan and Ashley together again. September 15th, Chandler Hills Winery. September 24th, back at my favorite spot, Broadway Oyster Bar.
Yes.
And that's like a monthly. You do probably at least once a month there.
Well, I've turned it into a monthly thing, and I'm very happy about that.
Yeah, great spot, man. I love it there. It's just, the music's always great, food's awesome, and all my favorite people hang there. So it's always like family when I come in the door, and high fives and hugs all around.
Totally, man.
So
It's always a great hang.
Yep. And then let's talk about. So I guess I should tell you also if you want to follow along on Facebook, you can find Ethan Jones and is it the
favorite
the
sons.
favorite sons, and you can follow along on there, and you can keep up with the rest of these solo dates and everything will be there, and then but you also play with Dr.Zhivegas.
I do play with Dr.Zhivegas.
And then this is I just which was kind of surprised you the other night.
Yeah, you did.
I
Follow me around.
I went down to the lake and you guys were playing down there at was it Shady Jack's?
Shady Gators.
Or Shady Jack's is in St. Louis here, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Or something or whatever.
One of them.
Shady Gators though. And Backwater Jacks. That's why I mashed the two. I mashed the two together.
Yeah.
I went to both of those bars, and anyway. But I happened to, I looked up and you guys were playing there, and like So I didn't want to give you guys any heads up. I just dropped in, and I thought it would be fun to surprise you. And you're sitting there loading in and everything, and drop in on you. And so I thought it'd be funny. Like, figured nobody expected me to show up at the Ozarks.
Right.
So, but that was a great weekend. We had a lot of fun, and you guys sounded great, and the band was killing it. So
thank you.
It was a good time out on the dance floor, just shaking my groove thing.
Yeah, man.
So that's I haven't seen that band in a while, so it was really a good time to watch you guys do your thing, and just like I said, it was a party all night. So
yeah, man, it's a lot of fun playing with those cats too.
Yeah,
like for real. The original stuff we were talking about earlier, that's actually how I got hooked up with Frankie and met Paul and Cubby. They played on the record. Everything that is on that is us as a unit. So we knocked that out, and then Frankie would be like, "Hey man, come by and do this guitar part for me." Okay. Hey, I need this guitar part. Okay. Hey, like, quick, come sing on this thing real quick. Dude, I'm heading out of town. And he used to, like, bribe me with pizza from Lou Bacardi's. I was like, this is the best pizza ever. I love it. Great restaurant, too. But I go over, like, we do that, eat pizza, hang out, and then I drive back to Nashville or whatever. I mean, they've helped me a lot in my career just with understanding how to serve a song and play that, and how to, like, market myself, and how to look a certain way, play a certain way, and pay attention to what you're doing rather than just, kind of half-assing it and getting through it. That's not how we operate at all. It's a pretty serious thing, but we're also, like, having such a good time doing it. It's cool.
Sure.
I appreciate that. So thanks, dudes.
Yeah. You, I guess, I'm assuming, learning all these tunes also. I mean, do you think I'm guessing it just makes your playing even that better? You're learning from so many greats, having learned their licks and stuff, and just imagine it probably helps all that stuff.
It's like having a Swiss Army knife, kind of, like, especially with like, I guess I'm in, like, a unique position because I play so many different styles of music.
Right.
We were doing, like, everything from disco to, like, Motley Crue or whatever in Zhivegas. And then I go do my James Taylor, John Mayer jams. Or then I go play mandolin or banjo or whatever, It's important to have those tools there, I guess. And, what you're saying, you listen and learn that stuff by listening.
Right.
The hardest part about playing music sometimes is listening.
Yeah.
Write that down. That's one of mine.
Yeah.
Write that down.
So you can visit Dr.Zhivegas.com. You can see these guys all over the place. You said in October you guys got a big run. You're hitting a couple out of town gigs and all this. And
yeah, man. And we're staying really busy. We've got a lot more like outdoor shows. Like we've got. Take a look. We'll just talk about some of them we have coming up. Pause. Like we're doing Brentwood Days coming up. We're doing the Oktoberfest in Belleville. We've got just stuff all over the map, man.
Yeah. Very cool. Well, again, check it out. Yeah. Get involved. Come if you haven't seen the show. It's a really good time.
It is a fun time.
So
you can see my boogie shoes, man.
Yeah. That's the thing. Like, you guys definitely do a lot of stuff that you don't hear hardly anybody else in town doing. Mm-hmm. So, like, kind of tap into some of that disco stuff you're talking about and different things. And, like, it's just like I said, high energy, funky party. And you're not your typical top 40 cover stuff or anything like that. Like, it's definitely getting into some older tunes that you may have forgot about a little bit. And it's always a really good time. I
always dig when we start a set or people look at us and we start, like, doing some of the stuff and just watching people go, what the hell? Like, really? And then they're like, this is cool.
Yeah.
And then they stay the whole night. I love that.
Yeah.
It's like the whole surprise factor. Because, Frank is like somewhere between like David Lee Roth and Prince. You know, we do the Prince tribute
Sure.
too, but it's just like he's just so out there in your face. You're like, what the hell is this dude doing? And then you look at us and we're just like solid grooving on each other and just having a blast. It's cool to see. It's cool to freak people out.
Yeah,
I
man.
like that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one of my favorite things too. Like, even as just a fan, like when I go to shows and you watch people like kind of like hanging out in the back, and then like as soon as the music starts, everybody starts like coming up and you watch them. Like, I enjoy like that part of like when I see my friends like play, and then all of a sudden like hook them with the very first song. I was like, what the hell is that? You know,
Yeah.
and it's like
That's
Yeah.
important, man.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how you build everything up.
right. So it's fun for me as a fan to see my friends owning the moment, you know, and like and people starting to recognizing what's going on and stuff. So
Yeah, man.
yeah, it's good times. Well, man, let's get back into the original stuff.
Okay.
We kind of said something you may be working on, maybe trying to get some more of these tunes out soon or something. Is that something along those lines?
Yeah, I've had some just kind of like just pushed back that we have started and never really finished. I mean, they're just not mastered, but I guess it's about time to put out some new stuff. People keep asking me for it, and I'll probably re-release the EP, the original one, with some other stuff. We got a cool show coming up. I don't want to spill too many details about it, so I just won't say anything about it. They'll just have to check everything out and be on top of that. But it's a night of original music, I'll just tell you that.
Nice.
So maybe that's some appropriately timed music release. That's what needs to happen.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah, man. I mean, like, I love it all, but I love when you guys do your own stuff. Like, you know, like I said, these songs are all fun, and you know they help definitely pay the bills and all that stuff. But like, I love watching you guys do your own stuff, and the, you know, just getting to be the star with your own music and things too.
It's hard to do that, man.
Yeah.
Because you're not just. How do I say it? Like, it's easier to play everybody else's stuff, and if they don't like it, that's fine. But for me, at least, if people don't like it, that's really personal. Because I mean, it's
sure.
Like I'm telling you about my life, and you're like, yeah, it sucks. Like, well, no shit. Like, it's called Sad Country Song. Right. Duh. All right. Or, you know, the happier stuff like that you're really psyched about. People are like, yeah, that's whatever. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, that's how the business is, and you just have to get a thick enough skin and learn how to adjust and keep going. Or if that's really what you want to do, then stick to your bones and do that. I mean, Jason Aldean did that. He was, you know, doing what the bro country thing is now 15, 16 years ago. And look what happened to him.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah, he's doing all right.
He's doing all right.
There's a lot of those guys though, like they kind of stick to it, and then all of a sudden it works for them. One day it all clicks. And but speaking of Nashville earlier, did you have any advice for those looking to make that journey?
Like to move down there?
If they're thinking about moving down there or making, you know, in that situation or anything?
If you're gonna go to Nashville, what do I say? How do I say this without sounding like a total douche? Be ready to be let down.
Yeah.
And here's what I mean by that. If you're gonna go down there as a songwriter and you don't have a whole lot of songs, you're bumming, because everybody down there has already probably got, you know, 300 or 400 songs just ready to go. And if you have like 10, you're bumming. Mm-hmm. But I will say this, the writing community in Nashville is very, very cool and very open, and they're hungry. You know, when I moved down there, I went everywhere. I went down to Midtown and I would pay people like $20. This guy named Brett Glenmeyer, who when we were in Lake Charles, Louisiana, with Zhivegas, I saw him playing in a band there. I was like, dude, why are you here? But he's like, you used to steal my guitar all the time. Give me $20 to play James Taylor. Back to that. And yeah, I mean, it's a really cool open community, and you just go down and you make appointments just like a regular job. You know, you have to make that time. If you flake on somebody, they don't like that very well. And don't expect to start getting gigs right off the top. You just kind of, roll with it, and it's a very political town. Mm-hmm. Everybody knows everybody, and they're pretty quick to talk about you too. Good, bad, and indifferent.
Yeah.
You learn a lot about people real fast. Having said that, I made a lot of great friends that I still talk to pretty regularly. Like when I played at Tootsie's, did that, and I have a lot of other friends that are touring musicians that are super close to me. And it's just about being excellent to each other.
Sure. Yeah. To quote the great Bill and Ted.
Bill and Ted, man.
Which brand new Bill and Ted on the way.
Yeah.
I'm really excited about that.
I'm very excited about that.
That I've heard a lot of that similar kind of stuff, like about Nashville. Like it's, what the numbers are showing, like something crazy, like 100 people a day or something silly.
Try 2,000. 2,000 people move in and 2,000 out every day.
Something like, yeah, whatever. I know it was something crazy, but
I lived there, what was it, 14 to the end of 13 to like 15, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Something like that. And it was like 400 a day, and I thought that was insane. Now I go back and I don't even know how to get around town.
Yeah.
It's insane.
But it does seem like a great place for the networking. Like, saying there's so many, it's hard, I imagine it's really super difficult to like necessarily break through, because there are so many people wanting the same exact thing. There's only so many offers, opportunities to come about.
Yeah.
But like you're saying, those writing circles and different things, like it's great networking to meet other people and find who you do click with and who you can write with and everything else. And
yeah. Dude, here's a cool one for you. So I did a writers round called Revival at the original Tin Roof on Demumbrian. And I did that, and I was like on the headlining list, which was a big deal. So everybody, like all the writers in town, show up, and they just peep whatever you're doing. If they like you, they want to schedule appointments. Great. So I'm doing this with like 3 other guys and this chick. And we all go through our songs and whatever. And they're like, dude, you're really going to like this Chris guy. Okay. Whatever. So he plays his songs, and they're just weird. I mean, weird. All right. It's kind of cool, I guess. It's just, I don't know how I feel about this dude. It's kind of, something's up with this guy. And he goes, well, this next song, I guess, is the reason everybody's here. This song paid for my car and my house, and the reason I don't really have to work anymore. He goes, this is the story of a girl cried a river down the whole world. I was like, that's that guy. Well, it wasn't, I forget what band that was, but he's the guy that wrote it.
Yeah.
I was like, how about that? I'm sitting right next to the dude, and here I am thinking you're a super creep weirdo guy, and you wrote that song. I'm like, oh, okay.
Sure.
The more you know.
Yeah. I can't, yeah, man. Yeah.
Somebody hit me up and let me know who did that song.
Yeah, tweet in if you're listening. Yeah, I can't think right now. I'm brain fart on that one.
One of those 90s bands.
Yeah,
though.
man.
Again, flashback.
I think it was like one name, like a guy's first name or something like that. I could be way off on that. But
I don't know.
Anyway, but yeah, it's interesting, that kind of stuff. Like, I feel like that. There's like a lot of the guys like that down there. I mean, even like you look at like Stapleton and stuff now. Like, I mean, he's obviously a huge star himself now, but like, I mean, he was down there writing all these songs, and he had tons of hits, but nobody really like knew who he was and stuff until Tennessee Whiskey hit and stuff like that, and
right,
and all that on the radio and whatever. Then his career took off.
Yeah, and got, the blessing of Justin Timberlake,
Yeah.
and then like it really took off.
Sure. I actually I saw Stapleton in the Firebird right after
Really?
right after like Traveler came out, and it's whatever 300-400 people, whatever that is, capped there at Firebird, but it sold out, and then like the next month, yeah, he's on CMAs with Timberlake and stuff, and like, it's like, yeah, he's never gonna play a club again, like,
Nope, ever.
yeah, so. But yeah, it's pretty wild, that guy's career. Like when you said Chris, that's where I was thinking. I thought you were going to say Stapleton.
Yeah,
but
that would have been cool.
Yeah, it would have been pretty. But that's the kind of stuff that happens down there. You never know who's going to show up in one of those rounds. Like somebody like that, like just sitting in the stool next to you, and like
Absolutely.
so. But anyway, man, this has been an awesome. It's been a lot of fun getting to share some of these songs and stories and stuff. But
Yeah, dude.
again, get involved with all things Ethan, between his solo original stuff and Dr.Zhivegas, and again, come down to one of these shows coming up. And if you want to get your John Mayer fix, but it couldn't get tickets, you can go to a free John Mayer show at Hammerstone's on September 3rd.
Or if you just really like me that much,
Yep.
that you want to bail on John Mayer, that's cool.
Yeah.
Just tell me that.
But yeah, buddy, this has been a real good time, man. I thank you for doing this.
Yeah, dude.
And,
Thanks for coming over. It's been cool.
Yeah, let's make it happen again soon, bud.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, thanks everybody. Bye.
Peace.
Rock Paper Podcast. Rock Paper Podcast. Rock Paper Podcast, y'all.